Hello, I'm Thomas Beck from wmpa.tv. If you follow us at all at Facebook, you've seen some pictures and read my post about a lot of the new equipment that we recently purchased. I'm really excited about it. I thought I'd take a minute to record a little video, give you a little tour of things, and let you see what I've been so excited about. Also gives me an opportunity to use them and play with them a little bit. So it's a win-win for everybody, I suppose. Anyway, we're going to start out here in the council room. I'm going to do us all a favor, get the camera away from me. Alright, let's take a look here. As you can see, this is our typical council room. It's a little messy right now. We've been doing a lot of projects in the municipal building, and this place has sort of been the catch-all for everything, as it often is. Here's the dais, of course, where the council meets and conducts their meetings at. We have two cameras that are permanently housed in this room. We try to keep them small, simple, out of the way. Purchased these this year. Here they are. That's a Sony. It's an EVI H100S. It's a high definition camera from Sony. It does 1080i, 720p, all the way down to standard definition. We're currently using it at 720p here in the studio. Basically just because the 1080i produces more of a delay, and I really haven't inquired about any kind of audio delay box. It looks like a bad foreign film where the words and the sounds don't match up. It's very annoying. We were able to save some money with these cameras and the rest of the system that we had a little left, and we came in under budget. So we sort of decided to go ahead and purchase a TV projector for the council chambers. It's something that'll play back either a cable, like right here's Fox News, or it also has a feed from the studio into the monitor so people can actually have a live feed of my program going out. I can also feed it dedicated sources, pretty much do anything I want with it. Over here on the other side, here's the second EVI H100S camera from Sony. Small, compact, they do a great job. And that's pretty much it for the council room. Pretty simple. Two little cameras, saved some money, got ourselves a HD TV for out front. Let me take you on back to the studio. It's not that far of a walk to the back. Been back here I think for about 25 years now, 30. Very happy with the studio. Again, we still haven't wrapped up all of our loose ends back here yet, but we got enough done where I thought it was worth giving you a tour. Alright, let's start off right here. Here's our equipment rack. Not quite done getting all the cables and all that bundled up and getting it to look pretty. More concerned with getting it to work. But we accomplished that. Right here is the new switcher. It's going to be the heartbeat of the studio. It's a Blackmagic Design ATEM1 production switcher. Look how small this baby is. It's just ridiculously small. So that's pretty much the heartbeat. Going to be our switching console for council meetings and such. It has advantage. It runs on 1080i. It'll run on 720p all the way down to lower definitions. But no reason to really do that. Back in the back is our network router. That will get installed and properly functioning later today. Here's our Latronix Mini T NX video server. If you see a program broadcasting on TV or a council meeting being rebroadcast, this is where it comes from, folks. No tapes here at Wmpa, just a simple little server. Now, this is probably the weak link in the system right now because it is standard definition. Everything else here is high definition now. But we're looking at upgrading this in the next few years, but until Time Warner is willing to give us a high definition channel, it really is not a big issue. Even if they were to give us one, they are a little pricey, so we'd probably get a converter that would convert standard definition to high definition for a couple years, which means I'd still be mastering on standard definition and then bumping it back up again for broadcast. Little kooky, I know, but when you're on a limited budget, you got to make sacrifices. These 4 units right here, these are my DVD playback machines. They're tied into the server. I have churches and various other institutions that'll bring me a DVD, say, hey, can you broadcast it? This is how I do it, folks. It's pretty simple, straightforward, and to the point. These are getting used less and less all the time. When we fully get everything up and running and networked, the churches will be able to upload the video to my server instead of having to bring me a DVD. So we'll be completely tapeless, DVD-less, etc. within the next couple years. Down on the bottom there, I just simply got an old DVD burner, which I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it installed or not, and my radio, which provides my music for the broadcast on the channel when the message board's running. So I'll go ahead and shut this up. That's pretty much the equipment rack. Let's take a look. I'll start back here. This unit right here, this is our message board. It's made by Digimation. It's an audience playback system. Does a great job. We've had it for almost 9 years now. Its days are probably coming to an end. The thing's ran 24/7. We're going to use it till it drops. When it drops, we'll sort of reassess the situation. Our playback server that plays back the video can play back stills, the messages and all that. So we would be able to get by without this particular piece of equipment if we had to. And so that's something we will look at and consider, and we'll cross that path when the time comes. It's possible we'll get another dedicated unit in a couple years if this one holds out. It will be a high definition, and it would also do pretty much the same thing that the current message board does now. Whereas this was a mainstay of the station for many, many years. Every place, every organization, everybody and their uncle has a website and uses that to promote their events now. So this message board is taking on more of just a generic, you know, this is where we are, these are our service times, who, what, when, where, why kind of things, as opposed to promoting current events. So it's not quite as important as it used to be. Therefore, I really am sort of on the fence about whether, when it comes time to replace this unit, whether I should replace it with a dedicated piece or just use the server and some stills to provide the same function. This unit right here, this is my server, my editor rather. It is a older unit too. It's pushing about 7 years old now. It's has a Matrix RTX2 capture card. Does real-time capturing and playback. Does a great job. I've had it, like I said, for about 7 years now. It'll even do some high definition if it's analog component in. Does a great job for me. I've produced some Blu-rays off of it. I love the thing to death, but the fact is everything else we got here now is high definition. Those files are much, much larger, and this system really don't have the capacity to do that. Plus I want to get to where I can take my media or my camera or whatever I use to record the video on in the future and just plug and edit and not have to go through the whole capture routine. Currently, if I got a 2-hour basketball game, well, it takes me 2 hours just to get it in the computer before I can do anything with it. I look forward to the day I can just either pop in the card, plug in the camera, and boom, I'm done, ready to go. Save me a lot of time. The more time I can save on the front end, the more programs I can make. It's as simple as that. Alright, right over here, this is the new heartbeat of the studio, right here in a nutshell. Pretty simple, folks. Got the two monitors there, the big monitors on the left. The first one is my preview monitor. It displays all of my inputs into my new switcher and lets me know what's in preview and what's in program. The unit there on the right, that's my program out. Tells me what is actually going out on the air. I can also switch that over to Time Warner cable and I can see the output to the cable station. Try not to do that too much because, again, I'm looking at the HD there. I flip it over to Time Warner and see it in standard definition. It sort of makes your stomach cringe. When you got the high def and the standard def side by side like I often do, you understand why high def is far superior. It really spoils you. You'll notice the two laptops on the desk. Simply, one is the switcher. It actually performs the switching between camera sources. It tells my switcher in the rack what to do. And that's pretty much going to be its sole function. Later on, it'll actually be able to capture the video and stream it out on the internet as well. The laptop to the left says media on it. This unit, I can play back DVDs, I can play back videos, I can even take YouTube, and whatever's on that computer goes through the switcher. I can mix it as a live source, and then spit it out onto the air. You'll see some cool stuff here at council meetings. You know, if they're talking about redoing a road or adding sidewalks or wanting to annex, I'll be able to bring up Google Earth. I managed to get copyright permissions for them for the next 2 years. I'll be able to bring up Google Earth, and we can use that as a map and show people where we're talking about. That's just one of the many features that we'll use that for. Might even play some of my videos off of YouTube out through there, but I know the first time I go to do that live, I'll have some bandwidth issues and it'll buffer on me. It hasn't done it yet, but I know when I go to use it live, it will. I'll show you a little bit of the switcher here. This, of course, is my soundboard. It's now the oldest piece in this studio. It's probably pushing about 10 years old. It's a Mackie. It's a 32-channel board. A little bit overkill for us now, but back in the day we had multiple VCRs going into here. They each took up 2 channels, left and right. When we figured all that up, we had DVD players, cassette players, CD players. I mean, we needed all these channels. I could probably get by with probably 18 channels now as opposed to the 32. But this has been a great mixer for us. Again, this is a piece of equipment I will use until it don't work anymore, and then we'll replace it with something a little leaner and meaner. It was real reasonably priced to begin with. It's been a wonderful, wonderful board for us. No complaints at all. Alright, I'm going to try to show you a little bit of what this switcher can do. Just bear with me here. Some multitasking. As you can see, I'm using Windows 8. Not too thrilled about that. From the time I got the quotes till the time the order was placed and it shipped, they switched over from Windows 7 to Windows 8. And that's the most likely reason why I can't stream right now, because there's some issues with USB 3 ports and Windows 8 at this time. And there we go, folks. Here's my switcher. It's as simple as that. If anybody's been to a TV station or seen videos in the past, you've seen what a switcher looks like. This is basically just going to be simply, it's software based. You know, click it with a mouse. I can also do use keyboard shortcuts if I wanted to do that, but I don't see me doing that very much. They did make a hardware board you could use for this if you wanted to, but that was like another $4,000 or $5,000. I think for that amount of money, I'm more than happy just sitting here clicking away on everything. So, now let me show you a little bit of what this can do. I'm just going to pan over here to my program. We'll get a little shot. As you can see, I'm doing a mix. It's sort of half a dissolve right now, and it's between one of my cameras in the studio and my computer. So let me just get rid of that. We'll just mix all the way up to camera 2. Camera 2 is in the council room. That's a clock in the council room. And good to go. Now, how do I move the cameras? I move the cameras right here with this pretty little device. This here, getting a little color from, you know, distortion from the monitors, but that's okay. I use a Sony. This is a remote control unit, an RMBR300. This controls both cameras. My previous system, I had an individual joystick and remote for each camera. Even on those, I would occasionally move the wrong camera, and the one on air would pan when it shouldn't. I suppose with this one, since I'm going to have to hit 1 or 2 before I move the camera, I'm sure I'm going to forget to press the button or press the wrong one. You're going to see some jerky movements on council meetings. If I'm focused in on the mayor and suddenly I'm panning hard to the left, it's probably because I pressed the wrong button. This gives me a little more leeway. I can actually program it to where I can hit like number 6. It goes to this clock. I can go up here and hit position 1. It gives me the whole council room. I got position number 2. That'll put me in on the city manager. Position number 3 on the law director. You know, it's not something I'll use on the air live, but if I'm moving around and this camera's off air and the city manager starts talking, you know, boom, it'll be there in no time. That's going to be a great little feature. Got the joystick here, just like playing a video game. It's got a little knob on the front. That's your zoom in and zoom out. And then other than that, it's just like, just tell it which way I want to go. It uses steps. It's not the smoothest thing in the world, and it's really not designed to be either, to be honest with you. But I'll be able to get some nice pans, and it should work fine for the type of use we use in the front studio. And it's excellent. I'll show you a little bit more about that monitor there. And here again is my preview monitor. As you'll see now, I only got there's only 3 things that are active right now. Console room number 1, which has to be input 5. Console 2, which is input 6. And camera 2, right here, which is actually the computer, which I just shut the lid off, so it just shut off on me there. Let's turn it back on. There we go. And you can see the desktop showing there. Why are the other screens black? Well, it's pretty simple here. Camera 1, it's actually going to be my output from my editor, which I showed you earlier. I just not have hardwired that yet. When I get a new editor next year, it most definitely will be camera 1. Camera 3 and 4, they're kind of not used at this current time. Nor is camera 7 and 8. So I got some room to grow. I'll be able to put all kinds of cameras and inputs into this thing. If I do ever update the message board with something a little newer that's high definition, it'll go right into one of these inputs as well. There's my preview monitor, shows you what's previewing. If I want to preview a camera source, there we go. Camera 1's up top in preview. That's going to be the next one. So if I do a transition or hit take or whatever the case may be, that becomes the live source. That goes into preview. It's pretty simple. It's straightforward. One little thing that I like the most, which is new for me here, is I now have the ability, which anybody that's in TV not having this ability for the last 20, 30 years, you'll understand how revolutionary this seems to you. But I now have the ability to add graphics. And let me see if I did it right. I can bring it up. There you go. Right there. A little lower third graphic, just like you'd see on a news broadcast. Having the ability to do that, just that little simple thing, is amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And I can't put into words how thrilled I am to be able to do something as simple as that. Unbelievable. I create these in Photoshop and just upload them into here using their plugin, and it's good to go. Well, I can see here I've just rattled on for about 18 minutes now. That's way too much time. I hope you enjoyed my little tour of Wmpa. If you're interested in learning more, feel free to contact me on Facebook, by email. Give me a call, 937-698-3836. I'd be happy to discuss what I got, how I use it, and how it's doing for me. Until next time, you have a great day. Bye-bye.